All right, we're back. This is going to be a juicy one. Welcome in 2023 NFL Mock Draft Simulator. This is your host, Trey Daubert. Of course, all these videos, part of the War Room series, they can be seen on the site, vendettasportsmedia.com. We're going through all the teams, team-by-team breakdowns, what they should do during the draft. Today, we're going to be talking about my team. Of course, you guys know I'm a hibernating fan. I despise my team with a passion right now, so this should be interesting. Before I really begin, let me give a big thanks to FanDuel for sponsoring this video and sponsoring this post. Big thanks to them. I'm going to drop the link in the description for the video, and then it's going to be in the post as well. So make sure to check that out. FanDuel, great partner. We appreciate them. And, respecting Trey, he's got big biceps and a big brain. So big thanks to FanDuel. And they probably picked the right one to sponsor. I don't want to go into this long Lamar Jackson rant. I've done it too many times. And today's about the draft. Today's supposed to be positive. Today's supposed to be about building our team for the future, right? Getting the next generation of stars for the Baltimore Ravens. But I don't think that I can ignore it in this case. Basically because any team that signs Lamar Jackson, we get draft pick compensation, right? Non-exclusive tag. Any team that signs Lamar, you hand over your first round pick this year and your first round pick next year. That's kind of the rules, how it works. So in a perfect world, I would love that team for that team to be the Colts, but I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to have that Colts number 4 pick, but it seems like they're locked in on Will Levis. And, I don't want to go down this Lamar Jackson rabbit hole. You guys know by now, I hate the guy. For a number of different reasons. He's brain dead. He thinks mommy can be his agent. Did you see that new invention that he has? The entire gym. Nobody's buying that garbage product. So let's try to avoid the Lamar talk as much as we can. You guys know by now I hate the guy. Any real Ravens fans out there, you should be on my side with this stuff. I don't know why you wouldn't be. Won Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. Won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. Have one playoff win with Lamar. So it's not rocket science. He's the Rudy Gobert of the NFL. Apple picking season. He might look good during September. Apple picking season. He gets some big performances in there, but as the season goes on and he takes those hits and the inaccuracy issues show, he's never going to win anything important. So, and he's also a garbage human that doesn't really have a brain. So scored like a negative 800 on the Wonderlic. So yeah. All right. Let's be done with the Lamar stuff. In terms of the draft, before I begin, don't have our second round pick, which sucks. But the positive is it was kind of worth it. And especially in a bad draft. This is, again, we've been over this. Not a good draft class this year. To turn in a second round pick for Roquan Smith, especially when the Bears gave their pick away for Chase Claypool. Have to feel good about being on the winning side of that, obviously. Go look at the numbers. Since the Ravens added Roquan Smith, they were basically a top 5 defense and everything. So, and they were in the 20s before him. So can't complain with that trade. Just the cost of doing business to get one of the best linebackers in football. Having said that, I feel like I know the Ravens pretty well as being mostly a fan my whole life. I'd do anything to have Joe Flacco back right now. But in terms of the draft, I feel like I know this team very well. Can we get one of those top corners? That's going to be the agenda for today. I don't like trading up. And now that we don't have a second round pick, we definitely can't even think about trading up. So does one of those top corners fall to us in the first round? That's going to be the biggest thing. And you'll even notice they're kind of leaving you breadcrumbs what the Ravens are doing. Marcus Peters is still a free agent. I don't think they hate the guy. I just think it's a scenario where, hey, it's a really good cornerback draft. And if we can get one of the top corners, great. We have our next starting corner opposite of Marlon Humphrey. And they just signed, or didn't just sign, but they have Armour Davis, who I think is going to make it. A couple other guys, they signed Darryl Worley. Brandon Stevens actually kind of starting to develop. So if they take a corner in the first round, Marcus Peters probably won't be back. But if they don't, I would anticipate he is back. So let's keep that in mind today. Sorry, I got a text. Which Girl Scout cookies do I like? By the way, side poll. Has to be the Caramel Delights. Anybody that says anything different, I don't trust your opinion. The Caramel Delights are just by far the best Girl Scout cookies. So let me answer that. text real quick. All right. Anyway, so just something to keep in mind. If one of those top corners are there, Joey Porter, Kelee Ringo, that's basically what we're looking at. Christian Gonzalez is going to be off the board by then. If one of those top corners are there, hopefully they are, I would anticipate Marcus Peters isn't back. But if that doesn't happen, then I would guess that Marcus Peters is back, and whatever the draft results are the draft results. So let's get into it. I'm not the biggest fan of Eric DeCosta, but I have to give the Ravens credit for this. When a guy that they like is not available, or let me rephrase that. If the cards don't fall the way that the cards fall, they have no problem moving back. They're probably the most notorious trade back team in the league. So maybe I wouldn't say Green Bay. I would say the Ravens are probably the most notorious trade back team that there is. That's a positive. Smart teams do that. I don't love everything that Eric DeCosta has done over the past, but hey, Ozzie Newsome built a good team. He kind of ruined it. So still a decent roster, but until the Lamar Jackson thing is taken care of, nothing's really going to matter here. Let's just try to do the best that we can. I feel like we should do 4 rounds for today because we don't have a second round pick. And if we do find ourselves in a spot where we have to trade back, it'll kind of reflect more of what the team would do in real life. So, and this video is sponsored by FanDuel. So we'll do 5 rounds. How about that? Little 5-round action, huh? And that is really where you'll start to see my stuff shine, because there's good players available in the 5th round every year. They're just not rated that highly. So here we go. 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 We hope, we pray that one of these top corners is available. If one of these top corners is available, and I do not count Devin Witherspoon in that discussion, that's an easy pick for us. And we hope that's the case. Okay, Joey Porter got snagged, 1 pick in front of us. Oh, that's a second round pick sitting there. Giants 2 is just sitting there for us. Shit. I said I would limit the cursing, but this is a trade the Ravens have to consider. The problem is there's only one guy on the board that I even want. And it would have been Porter. The other one would have been Porter, I should say. Oh, no. Can we get that second rounder? How about if we do that? Can we get the second rounder back? What if it's a 7? I don't think we can risk it. Oh, let's get the second rounder back. And you won't do 199? Can you add in a 7? Wow, they can't even do that. All right. I think we can't risk it at this point. I would have loved adding Joey Porter Jr., but considering there's only one other corner that we would take in this spot, I feel like we have no other option other than to pick them. And these are cornerback needy teams here coming up. Minnesota, Jacksonville could easily both take them. I would expect that the Giants want to move up for a receiver. I think we got to take them. I don't think we can risk it. It's a bad draft, and if we get stuck here, we're going to be playing chicken. So let's take our guy Kelee Ringo. Little breakdown on Kelee Ringo here. Again, for me in this class, I think it's a group of 3: Porter, Gonzalez, Ringo. Find a way to come away with one of them. Again, as I said in the past, I think this is a bad draft. There's maybe 10 guys total I'm willing to take in the first round. Those are 3 of them. In terms of Kelee Ringo, I do think it's much more likely that a Ringo falls on draft day compared to Porter. I think Porter is going to go higher than 21 just in the real draft. If Ringo's on the board here, I think you have to take him. Unless it's like, I don't know. If the Giants would have just given me the 2, I would have really had to think about it. But to give away another pick this year, I don't think it makes sense. Ringo, he's got the necessary length. He's a monster recruit. I don't think he's played up to his full potential yet either. We're talking about a guy, and again, I've said this, Georgia has better players than everyone else. And if you can't accept that, you're just not keeping up with the times. Georgia has the best roster in college football. They've won back-to-back national championships for a reason. This guy has been the best corner on their team and has gotten meaningful snaps since his freshman days. Listen, he's a physical corner. He's got the necessary length. He can run. He's got track speed. You want to say he gets a little too physical sometimes? That's fine. We can coach him up. This is the Ravens. Like, we can clean up those little mistakes. I think sometimes he gets a little grabby. Sometimes he finds himself out of position. Just minor stuff with Ringo. I think he would fit in really, really well, especially as a number 2 corner. We got Humphrey. He's our secondary corner. I think you turn in the card. And more so than anything with Ringo, the thing that like the most underrated ability in terms of cornerbacks every single year, tackling. You got to get a guy that can tackle. Those 10-yard gains that turn into 30-yard gains are the ones we got to avoid, right? This guy can tackle. This guy's mean. This guy, he's built like a running back. He really is built like a running back. So I think at this spot in the draft, in a down draft, he's a no-brainer pick. He's a no-brainer pick at this point. We turn the card in for Ringo and we celebrate. And then, look at Cam Smith just went. Who knows who they would have actually taken? We won't know the answer to that. How about the Giants taking Bijan Robinson? Oh my God. Barkley would throw a fit. And we're not going to be on the clock for a while, but that is what it is. I think if Ringo falls there, you have to take him. Yeah, you have to take him, Baltimore, right? You have to take him. How can you not? Somebody good's going to be there in the 3rd round. We may have to think about trading down because we only made 1 pick. This might be the easiest draft simulation that we do. But again, with Minnesota taking Cam Smith, I knew we couldn't really risk it. We would have been playing chicken, and if Ringo gets taken, we're kind of screwed. You know, I just feel like he's a much better player than Cam Smith. Wait, okay, when are we up here? Now we're up. Running back's definitely not an option, so I'm not upset that Achane's gone. You got J.K. Dobbins, got Gus Edwards. That's not really a position that we're going to be looking at anyway. Can we make that? Sorry, I got a text again. How about the should I do the Love Island? I got a text. It's an underrated show. It's an underrated show. Okay, see what I want to. How do they have so many comp, or are those comp picks, or they can't be comp picks? Can we pull off some cheese? Can we do that? Because that actually would make me very happy. Jordan Battle. I mean, the Kyle Hamilton pick kind of gets rid of that. Like, what's the point? How about 2 7s? I figured you would say no. What about 199? Who would we pick? The problem is we're waiting a while then. 124, and then that's it, right? And then round 5. Who would we pick here? I don't think I'd turn a card in for anybody. Yeah, all right. I mean, I think I'd want to wait on him. I think I would consider him down here, but not right now. I want that pick, man. Can, nice. I just don't feel like that's good enough. I mean, yes, it's a four. It's an extra fourth. I'd like to have that, but I feel like they screwed this up. I feel like they gave them extra thirds in there. That can't be right. Unless is that for the D'Amico Ryans thing? Is that what that's for? Maybe, I don't know. Let's just take their third if they do that. And they don't do that either. I really don't want to pick here. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's fine. Move down a little bit. We're coming up. We're coming up. We're coming up. That's not bad. Can we do better than that, though? Okay, good. Good. We got another middle round pick. That's nice. We like that. We like that a lot. Okay, now we don't have a trade offer. A lot of the corners are getting taken. We're going to take another one. We're going to take another one. I just love this. I love this Tomlinson. I'm sorry, but I do. And he actually fits what we do. If we're being real here, we don't have to take another corner for a while. I mean, we can bring back Marcus Peters if we want to, which I would still do. I still would do. He's a slot guy for us. He's a slot guy for us. Or a back end free safety. Marcus Williams goes down. I think you can play free safety. I think you come away with these two guys and you feel really good about your secondary. And if we're being totally honest here, I just love some of these edge rushers later in the draft. Like I'm in on this range. I'll take 2 of them. And I think some of the young guys that we do have, Adafe Owe, David Ajabo, those guys got to step up. They have to step up. So if we can really fix our secondary, hey, Ringo, Humphrey, Hamilton, Marcus Williams, you got him as a slot corner. That's one of the best secondaries in the league. I mean, especially, and it's young too. That's a young secondary that 2-3 years from now might really be one of the best secondaries in the league. So we go with Tomlinson here. We have no regrets. We feel good about this. And another thing I should mention, I'm all about the Ola with Timmy train, but having Linderbaum as a first round pick last year doesn't really make sense to pull the trigger on a center. So just something to keep in mind. Well, I mean, can you make that? Honestly, I think I'd just take it. Unless you can add that. You willing to do this? Oh, they don't. Come on. All right, fine. It's 2 spots. We'll take the extra 7. Wouldn't have done those anyway. All right. Don't have a trade offer. Not taking Chase Brown. He stinks. What can we do? He's just the best player available by a mile. All right, let's go team or position by position. Not doing that. Come on, don't freeze on me. And we're doing a 5th round. How many picks do we have in the 5th round? 1, 2. We only have 2. And they're not for a while. So we should probably just pick the guy that we like. Can't take a running back. We got one. We got 2 of them, actually. It sucks we're not going to improve this offensive line, though. A little bit worried about that. Because we kind of need to. I don't know if he could play anything else other than center. Jerry Brown makes a lot of sense, but we have safeties. D tackle, no. Okay, I think I'm leaning a certain direction. I don't think people are gonna like it, but I think it's the move. All right, we're gonna go. That's why I picked the right one, though. I think. Yeah, I think he's a Ravens type guy. I really do. Harbaugh connection, knows him well. I think he's a much better football player than he showed at the combine. I don't think his movement skills were that great, but you got to remember he's a big time. He's basically a defensive tackle in the 3-4. We got to get somebody that can kind of replicate the things that Calais Campbell did. Somebody that's big along the defensive line. He can play defensive end, 3-4 technique kind of guy. I think he's a powerful guy. I really do. He kind of reminds me when the Ravens took Chris Wormley, but I think he's better. I think he's a better player than Chris Wormley. I would like to move down a couple more spots, but I don't have that option available to me. So we're going to take Mike Morris here, and hopefully we can double down on another pass rusher later. But I think Mike Morris is the pick here, especially that Harbaugh connection. They've done that in the past. I think he fits the scheme very well. And we have a big time need along the defensive line now that Calais Campbell's gone. So I have no complaints there. There goes Ola with Timmy. If he would have dropped again, okay, there goes Byron Young. KJ Henry's gone. Okay, both of those picks are in the 5th round. We do come up again in 2 spots. Brenton Cox is the guy that I want. 100%. But we need another pick. Get rid of this. Trying to think of like, you want to swap like what more do you want to make that go through? That's the thing. Because I don't really want to give you that. I get like, are you willing to I don't want to give you that 7. Add in that. You gotta be kidding me. How about this? Fine. Fine. Good. No trade offers. I think this is an easy pick here. We need more pass rushers. By the way, Justin Houston, did you know that? Justin Houston led this team in sacks last year, not on the team anymore, and he's aging in dog years. And Jason Pierre-Paul, who somehow is getting meaningful snaps too, is also gone. Can we count on Bowser? Can we count on Bowser? I don't know. Remains to be seen. We're still waiting on Bowser to be a player. I think Brenton Cox is a nasty, nasty SOB. I really do. He's just got some character things. He's a little bit of a knucklehead, but to get a guy like this in the 5th round, in the late 5th round, that's something you pull the trigger on every day of the week. And he doesn't have to be a starter for us. He can come in and play run defense. So, again, do a little deep dive on Brenton Cox. He's got decent length. I think he could play the 3-4 outside linebacker spot. I think he's got NFL background. His dad is actually a coach in the NFL, Brian Cox. So we like this. We like this a lot. And I think he's a twitchy guy. Like, I got to let the dog in real quick, but I'm going to make this pick here. I think he's a twitchy guy. I think he's a guy that's got some spin moves. He's got some rip moves. Like, he's a good player. It's just a matter of keeping him, Can we keep his head in line? That's what we got to do, basically. Can we keep him locked and loaded? All right. So what are we looking at here? No trade offers. And then I can pick again. So, I mean, at this point, oh, we got 2 picks that we love right here. Ooh, actually. This is the point in the draft where it gets interesting. Because there's guys that I like this deep in the draft. There's guys I love this deep in the draft. I think we pull the trigger on a receiver. And it's a matter of if we want Raheem Jarrett or Charlie Jones. Because I think both are really good. Since it's the Maryland guy, I think we have to go Raheem Jarrett. He's a good player. He's a good player. And I think some of the arm strength limitations with Tagovailoa last year, I think it kind of hurt him in terms of getting like those explosive plays. He's not slow. He's not slow. He can run routes. And on this team, he's going to be a useful guy. Who do we really have at receiver? They brought in Nelson Aguilar. They made an offer to Odell Beckham. Who knows if that's going to happen? But we got to get somebody young that we can come in and develop here. They have not put enough resources into the wide receiver position. And if I was running the team, they just would have ended up with DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel the year that they picked Marquise Brown. You can go look at my draft notes that year, actually. Go ahead and do it. I challenge anybody to do it. I made it very clear. Come away with A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, and DK Metcalf. They didn't listen to me. They came away with Marquise Brown instead. So I think Raheem Jarrett makes a lot of sense in this spot in the draft. Absolutely. And you know what? I think we might take both of them. Wow, Dallas, you're pricks. I think I would have taken both of them. Unbelievable. What pricks? I hate Ronnie Brown. I hate Ronnie Brown. My dude and my email's going off. I mean, there's one guy that's staring me in the face, and I just think he's the best player by a mile that's available. Actually, you know what we could do? I think we're going to take DeMarco Hellams. I do. I think we're going to take... do I take DeMarco Hellams? Who's a defensive tackle out there? Nobody. His dad actually played for the Ravens, so that would be interesting. I think we take DeMarco Helms. I would have taken Charlie Jones there. I don't think the Ravens can add enough receivers at this point. But DeMarco Helms, I think the scouting report, whatever they put on here, will be wrong. I think he's a linebacker at the next level. I think he's a guy who can play some box safety, can play some linebacker. I think if you're looking for a guy, I don't think he's going to be as good as this player because, again, if you go back and read my notes, that Hufunga, Trey was the president of his fan club. You can go back and read it. I was the president of the Hufunga fan club. This guy, I think, is very, very similar, except I think he's going to end up actually turning into a linebacker. And he's a Bama guy. We trust his athletic traits. Round things out with Helms. There's your draft. There's your draft. That actually looks like a Ravens draft. It really does. It really does. It really looks like a Ravens draft. In terms of not having a second round pick, I think we did about as well as we could here. I really do. The only thing I have a little bit regrets on, I wish we had another offensive lineman in this class. But the problem is this offensive line class, there's very little depth to it. There's very, very, very little depth to it. After about the third round, and not even the third round, after about pick 50, the offensive lineman that you're going to end up in this draft with, outside of the center who we love, it's just crickets. It's just crickets. So we really, really improved this secondary. We got another kind of, jack of all trades guy with Helms back there. We add a receiver. We add 2 edge rushers in case, the young guys flop, or at 2 more guys. So I like this draft a lot. I really, really do. Let me know what you think. I'm open to your comments. So let's hear them. Anyway, I think we did pretty well here. I really do. I think this one went about as well as it could have gone. And I mean, it all comes down to, will one of those corners fall? I think that's who the Ravens are going to take, just knowing the team my whole life. I really, really do. You can bookmark this video. Let me know. But I think if one of those corners is there, they're going to pick him. If Ringo's there, they're going to take him. So that's your Ravens video. Let me know what you think. And hopefully by the end of the draft, Lamar Jackson isn't on the team anymore. So that would be the cherry on top. All right. Peace out, Girl Scout. Thank you guys for watching. VendettaSportsMedia.com, and thank you, FanDuel, for sponsoring this video.